Also here tonight, Republican Congressman Matt Gaetz of Florida, a key Republican member of the House Judiciary Committee. Congressman, thanks for coming in.
Thanks for having me.
As you hear Victor lay all that out, I'm reminded of Al Green, the Democrat, who some weeks and months ago suggested can't beat Donald Trump at the ballot box in 2020, have to impeach him. When you look at how the economy's playing out this week and how this impeachment drama is playing out, your thoughts?
Very strange, and you also see impeachment really serve as the substitute for an agenda for the American people. Democrats haven't been fulfilling their commitments on trade, on health care, on the economy, and so impeachment has really been the alternative to that, and it's been all-consuming as an obsession. And it's a little bizarre to just harken back to a few weeks ago when Eric Swalwell called the president's conduct a crime spree in progress, and Jerry Nadler said nothing was more urgent. And now Nancy Pelosi is, I guess, sitting on the impeachment articles like they're an egg that she's waiting to hatch at any moment.
Well, if there's a crime spree, why haven't the articles been sent to the Senate so the president could be brought to a trial?
Well, that's obviously the contradiction that we see through the Democrats, and it's sort of hard to take this team seriously when, as you pointed out in your monologue, you had Democrats in concert with folks like Rachel Maddow trying to breathe truth into a dossier that we had been telling the American people was false. So the Democrats and their allies in the media were wrong really on two fronts. One, the underlying veracity or truth of the dossier. Horowitz testifies that it's Steele's subsources who say, well, that's not what we told Steele. We don't know why that ended up in the document. And then second, the extent to which that dossier was used. You had Maddow and Schiff and others saying, oh, the FBI did nothing wrong. They totally followed the FISA process. We now see that dossier was the central part of their application for surveillance.
Well, you took me right where I wanted to go next, which is one thing for people in the media to be called out and be held accountable for mistakes, and we all make them. But this was a big one. And you go beyond that, Adam Schiff, who you just invoked a moment ago, he went much further. He's not in the media. He's in Congress. He's been elected by people in his district, as you know, and he's chairman of a very powerful committee. And yet this Washington Post piece begins in 2017 with Rachel Maddow interviewing Adam Schiff, and he sort of sidesteps the question of the veracity of the dossier. As you know, and we know now, the Schiff memo was false. Shouldn't we be holding committee chairmen, very powerful committees, to a higher standard?
Absolutely. You'll remember when Devin Nunes put out his memo and Schiff put out his response, you heard the mainstream media say, oh, the Nunes memo has now been debunked by the Schiff memo. This is obviously the truth. Well, we now have something that we rarely get in Washington politics, an actual verdict, an actual result from the Obama-appointed inspector general saying Nunes was right all along, Schiff was wrong. Now, why does that matter? Schiff is not just a member of Congress. He's a member of the Gang of Eight. So there's intelligence as an armed services committee member that I cannot see, but I have to rely on Schiff and others in the Gang of Eight to correctly assess that intelligence and give us their accurate perceptions. It's one of the reasons why I have filed legislation expressing the sense of the House that Schiff should be removed as the intelligence chairman so that we at least get clear eyes on the most important intelligence analysis that faces the country.
Congressman, last question. Kim Strasser of the Wall Street Journal had a piece suggesting that maybe Pelosi wants a quote-unquote rolling impeachment, that she's holding these articles, waiting for something else to drop, and almost just hang it over the president's head ahead of the election. Your thoughts?
Democrats are becoming the one-hit wonder where it's only impeachment. Now I guess they've got like postpartum depression because they've birthed this impeachment out and they're sad that they won't be able to continue to litigate it. But what's strange about this politically, Ed, is that the more they talk about impeachment and open hearings, the worse things get for them. The Real Clear Politics polling average on impeachment inverted when Democrats started holding public hearings because the American people got to see how thin their case was. They should be through with this. We should all have a New Year's resolution to be done with impeachment and investigations, and let's actually put the American people first. Let's make their agenda our agenda and not just fuel political ambition.
Congressman, you're very optimistic heading into the new year. We'll see how that plays out. We appreciate you coming in.
Thank you.